welcome to Ring the Damn Bell. Of course, tonight is the Monday Night Recap. We're going to discuss what happened in the show. We're going to say, give the grades if you thought it was a great show, the A, or a terrible show and F. No one has given enough yet, but you never know what my crazy co-host what he's going to do. And of course, my co-host tonight, as always, is the wrestling enthusiast Mark. What's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot, brother.
So before going into it, let's do a little bit of news, and we only have one item tonight to talk about, and this is for all of you CM Punk fans out there. As per PW Insider, Punk is advertised to appear at the December 26th live event for WWE's live holiday tour at Madison Square Garden in New York. Punk's former rival Drew McIntyre is also advertised for the show, as is WWE World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, Seth Rollins, and Rey Mysterio. Punk is also advertised for the 2020-25 Royal Rumble, which will be held on February 1st, 2025, and even features on the premium live events poster. There's no way that Punk is only going to make sporadic appearances, but really not come back until the 2025 Royal Rumble. You think he's gonna be taking that much time off?
Yeah, I do. I think he'll come in and get in-ring appearance, by getting on the mic.
Right.
To be honest, that's his moneymaker at this point.
Yeah. Now it'll be interesting. I have a feeling that they're going to have no choice but to turn Drew McIntyre into a babyface once again, because after that performance, for in the Hell in a Cell match that he did, I think that Drew's not a new guy in professional wrestling by any means. He is a veteran, right? But I think that Hell in a Cell match actually made Drew McIntyre's career as the top talent for WWE. Do you agree? Do you think that they're going to turn him babyface? Because I don't see the fans booing him at this point. I think that they're going to cheer for him no matter what.
I don't think he's quite at that stage where he's got like the ultimate respect like Randy, but yeah, I think he's been a so-called heel long enough, I guess.
Yeah. So that's it for news.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Show.
So apparently any rumors that Shane McMahon was going to AEW have been kiboshed.
Yeah, I just got what you sent me. I haven't really wasn't able to fully read it. I was setting everything up. I was going to actually save it for the next podcast. But how have they, since you brought it up, how have they kiboshed it?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to read it either. I saw it about 2 minutes before I sent it to you. And I was in a flurry of doing other things, so I didn't get a chance to read it yet.
Yeah, I mean, that whole AEW thing right now with Moxley is just, I don't know. We could say that for Thursday when we talk about AEW. Let's get to Monday Night Raw. I gave last night a B plus.
I don't know if I'd go that high. I'd go. Looking back, I'd go probably a B minus.
Okay.
So,
all
right.
Be more harsh.
All right.
All right.
Oh, the other thing I saw too, that both SmackDown and Raw are going to 3 hours when Raw goes to Netflix.
Oh, so they announced that? I haven't seen that yet. So they
announced that both are going to 3 hours now. I don't know. I'm being hard pressed to get 2 hours in each, but I'll make it work.
I don't know why they think this 3 hour is the magic number, because 2 hours, it seems like it goes by really fast. And on top of that, at the end of the show, because it's only 2 hours, it makes me feel like I want more, right? Now, when I say I want more, I'm not saying I want more like for the big 3 hours, but I want more. I can't wait to the next episode next Monday. That's what you should feel like whenever you're watching any promotion, right? That, oh my gosh, I can't wait to the next episode because I want to know what's going to happen.
right. But if
Three
it's not,
hours, you're like, holy shit, I'm glad this is over with.
but 3 hours, they're looking at ratings. They're looking at, you know, is SmackDown going to get more ratings than CSI, or NCIS or whatever, whatever they're running afterwards, or Modern Family, or Big Bang Theory. I mean, what's going to give them the biggest ratings? I
But
think
just
Netflix is really kind of pushing to get a ratings bump, and I think they will initially. But if the storylines aren't there, people are going to drop it, and they'll
well,
just watch
and this is the
SmackDown.
thing. I get the whole ratings thing with SmackDown because it's on USA. But with ratings with Monday Night Raw, once it goes to Netflix, do they really do it by ratings or do they do it by viewership? Because Netflix is a whole different thing because
Because
people
they're
come
streaming.
back and watch it later or whatnot.
You know, I don't know. I guess they're going to go by how many more subscribers they get. If they pick up 1 million subscribers, is it worth picking up Raw? I don't know how many years they got Raw for.
Yeah, but this is the thing about subscribers. You'd be hard. I don't know one person, and I'm being honest, one person that's already not subscribed to Netflix. Netflix is usually the thing that out of all of the different
Streaming.
yeah that you can subscribe for, Netflix is usually that one. So I have to assume that your wrestling fans, they're already subscribed to Netflix. So I think for them to be looking for this big boom, I I don't get that. So
See, now, this is where I think. I think the younger generation isn't as interested in Netflix, and I think that's where
maybe
the younger crowd.
yeah,
They're more into Amazon Prime or
sucks
Apple or whatever.
sucks.
Right, right. So I don't know. It's hard to say. And is Raw gonna have commercials on Netflix?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well you're losing a lot of income on you know
But that's why Netflix paid them what they paid them to come to Netflix. That's the thing. That's going back real quick to AEW, right? Look, the reason why AEW is staying afloat is because the CW, right? These guys paid them upfront money, a lot of money, to stay there and to produce these shows for so many years, right? And this is how these wrestling companies are now making money. Yes, they make money off of ads if they're like on USA and whatnot, but at the same time, these these different companies that are paying them to air on their channel, they are paying them ahead of time. It's not like, oh, well, we're going to pay you per show depending on what our ratings are. It's not like back in the old days where the show had to come on and produce a certain amount of money and viewers or whatever, and they're getting paid after the fact. No, they're getting paid beforehand. This is why WWE with Crown Royal, right? I think it was a 10-year deal that Jesus Christ, the amount of money that Saudi Arabia paid them to come there it is just insane the amount
right,
of money.
right.
And this is how they make money these days. So
And
I don't necessarily see them losing money off of not having ads on Netflix. But what I do think is it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to create this really great show because if you think about it, they're having to now, instead of being able to stop during commercials, you've been to a wrestling show, they stop for commercials a lot of times. They'll maybe have somebody come up in the ring to entertain the crowd by talking to them, but you're waiting for the commercial break to be done, and then the show restarts. So they're not having to worry about producing storylines or television during the commercial breaks. During Netflix, they're going to have to constantly be going for 3 hours. So it's
it's a
going to
solid 3 hours.
add,
It's a solid 3 hours versus two
right?
and a half or 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's a solid 3 hours. That's a lot of time to fill.
Right. So we'll see what's going to happen. I'm curious to see if they're going to still be this big child friendly promotion or if they're going to go to at least a hard PG-14 type of a deal. I don't foresee, there's a lot of people who think that they're going to be dropping the, saying fuck or whatnot, right? I don't see that happening because, yeah, they may be on Netflix where they can get away with more, but they still have this massive live audience with these kids that they have to be, that they're concerned about. They want to keep these kids. It's not like the fucking Attitude Era where, okay, we were more worried about that 18 to whatever, demographic. No, they're going to still be catering to those kids who show up there. So
Yeah.
people who think that they're going to go to this TV mature rating or even a rated R, it's not going to happen.
No, they want that lifelong fellowship. They
Right.
want long rating.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Well, yeah, let's get to it.
all right, so it took place in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We start out with your typical people walking into the building and whatnot. I'm going to skip that. So it starts out with Gunther goes to the ring, claims he's still world champion. Doesn't matter that Cody beat him. You know, shortly afterwards, Damien comes out to ring. Damien claims he was he has doubts about beating Gunther, and then calls out Gunther because he got beat by Cody. Ludwig soon comes out and starts trash talking um, Damien. Walter stops him. I was kind of surprised. He wasn't going to let him,
Gunther.
you know. Very shortly after that, Damien disposes of Ludwig. Gunther shows a bit of concern, which you don't really see on Gunther's face, and leaves the ring.
Yeah. So this is the thing with this. Uh, the bottom line, the whole thing that they're trying to get within this storyline is that Gunther is unsure of himself, right? Because Cody beat him. I don't like this. I think that Gunther looks better as this highly confident champion. This whole he's questioning his ability type thing. I just don't like it. Because look, at the end of the day, we know that Gunther's not dropping the title to Damian Priest. I think that the reason why Gunther stopped Kaiser is because they are getting ready to turn Gunther into a baby face, which I think is a bad idea. Um, I think that they WWE turning him babyface might indeed set him up for disaster because Gunther very much, you always talk about Lance Storm, right? Gunther very much reminds me of that personality that he has as Lance Storm. And I think it goes back, if you think about it, they killed Lance Storm's career where they tried to make him to a baby face. They don't have that type of personality for them to survive as a babyface, in my opinion, to really get the fans to care about them. They have that straightforward type personality. I don't know how to describe it, but he's better off as a heel than a babyface.
He's dry,
Try, that's it.
right?
And to be a babyface, you have to be charismatic in many ways.
Yep.
And that's not Gunther. He's not going to be that guy.
That's where I think you're wrong. I think Gunther can. Um, I think he has a personality. He's just so accustomed to being the way he is. You know, this undefeatable wrestling monster or wrestling machine.
But that is his personality, though. That's the thing.
Right. But like what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? Yeah, there's three guys, worthy guys challenged me for champion and Dom. I mean, when he said that, I was on the floor. I was like, really? He threw a laugh out. I couldn't believe it.
Right. But, and you're right, I'm not disagreeing. But let's think about him in front of the audience having to be that baby face that gets that emotion for them to care about them. Look, the baby face is the one that's normally chasing everything. The baby face is the one that's usually the underdog. The baby face is the one that's usually uplifting everyone, including the fans. That's how they get those emotions for those fans to care about them as a baby face. I don't see Gunther having that. I don't. I think that yes, Gunther can be kind of that smart ass in his own way, but I don't see him being that charismatic baby face. So,
That's the other thing that kind of perplexes me because I don't see them having two world champions as faces. You know,
yeah, that's something else. Now I tell you, I will be all about them turning Gunther into a baby face and risking that if we get a Cody Rhodes fucking heel turn. Dude, I want Cody Rhodes to be a heel so badly. Look, whenever Cody was Stardust, right? We seen that he could be a heel. Unfortunately, as Stardust though, and I don't think that that gimmick caught. But can you imagine that type of a heel though, as Cody Rhodes, not the Stardust gimmick? Cody Rhodes as this dickhead heel. Dude, you know what? And me and Baby Doll talked about this. Cody Rhodes has the potential to be the biggest heel and the best heel that we have seen in many, many, many years if they do this. Going back to Gunther, though, to me, it's a toss up, and you're risking it turning him babyface. So
I don't know. I've seen crazier things happen, so I'm at least open to the idea. Whether
yeah,
it's
I mean, we could try it. I mean, fuck, look at us. We're trying you as a fucking co-host, and you didn't want to have anything to do with that person.
yeah, anything's possible, I suppose. Uh, I lost my train of thought too. Thanks a lot, Weenie.
Hey guys, if you want to know, my respectable co-host, he likes to call me fucking tater nuts.
What do I
Talk
call it? Oh,
tater nuts.
tater
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. Talk about a Minnesota fucking thing. Look, I'm originally from the South, right? And my buddy here is from Minnesota. And Minnesota's all about them taters. And so, tater nut. Oh, fuck. I ought to fire him just for calling me that.
I think I only called you tater nuts once, maybe twice. All right. So, anyways, get back to the brass tacks here. Next, we go to an interview backstage with Damage Control, which I think they're actually turning them into fan favorites. Um, Talking about their match later. Dakota Kai comes out. I was kind of shocked. Then we've got Damage Control going to the ring to face PFC.
Yeah, but let me stop you real quick. We talk about turning on babyface. The reason why I side is because I don't have an issue with Damage Control being turned back into a babyface. My issue is that within the past 4 months, they went from heel to babyface to heel and now back to babyface. It clearly shows that creative, it's not a Damage Control issue. Creative does not have a clear-cut direction they want Damage Control to go in. Unfortunately, it affects Damage Control. And I think it makes them lose that fan base caring about them as baby faces by creative doing that shit. So I really hope that creative now knows what the fuck they're doing with them. If you can have them be a baby face, be a fucking baby face, and leave them be for at least a year, for the love of God. So that was my rant. Go on.
Well, here's how I see it. I see um, Asuka coming back and Dakota Kai getting the boot. That's what I see.
Now, if that happened, I tell you, I'm all about it because, it's funny because I just mentioned to my wife who was begrudgingly watching Raw with me last night that um I believe that fuck Dakota, not Dakota, the one that's going for the world championship. Yeah, Dakota
Oh,
Kai.
Dakota Kai.
Yeah. Look, I believe that she is definitely the best out of Damage Control. She is fucking phenomenal. And last night, I really seen her bring what she could do back to the ring when she came in to help Jay Cargill and Bianca for the first time in a very long time. I truly seen this is the Dakota Kai that I absolutely fucking have loved in the past. I think that
I,
she's better as a single performer.
you mean Io Sky, not
I mean,
Dakota?
Io Sky. Fuck, Io Sky. Yeah, Io Sky.
All
She,
right. So, anyways,
she's
before the
brilliant.
match starts, we go backstage with Kofi and R-Truth. Woods walks in during their conversation. Pete Dunne comes in shortly. Dunne goes after R-Truth because he called him Butch. Kofi challenges Dunne to a match later on in the night. Then we go back to Pure
Wait a
Fusion.
second. R-Truth, after freaking Pete Dunne left, and he was like, my bad. Butch, damn it, I did it again. I keep on saying this on every podcast. I cannot say enough about fucking R-Truth. And if you guys really want to see a lot of R-Truth and how funny he is, go to YouTube or even fucking TikTok. He is such a great, great talent. Go on. I won't go over the tangent about it, but yeah, I love R-Truth.
Got a kick out of when he said when he told Kofi, he says, I'm okay with Pete, but you got to watch out for Butch.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, he
I
is
mean,
just,
it's like little Johnny. What the fuck are
yeah.
you talking about? But you got to love R-Truth. R-Truth is definitely worth my money.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, then we go back to the ring with Purple Fusion Collection. Sorry. Um, they come to the ring. Io Sky gets Pure Fusion Collision gets the pin on Io Sky.
Yeah, what the fuck? They're promoting Io Sky. She's going after the title, but they have her pinned. Remember, I was bitching about this for AEW. Like, what the fuck is going on with creative? I don't get it.
Yep. I was surprised she took the pin too.
Yes.
All right. So then we go to a recap of Bloodline.
Who cares?
Sammy, Jay, Jimmy. Um, and they're talking about finding the fifth partner.
Look, let me save you some fucking time here. Okay. The bloodline thing after last night, I'm done with them. It's stale, and the fact that we're going to have Seth Rollins, and he's going to be the fifth guy for the OG bloodline, which this is their official name now, is the OG bloodline. It's going to be Seth Rollins, which means that you could guess who the fifth partner is going to be for the new bloodline. It's going to be Butch fucking not Butch Reed, Reed,
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed. Yeah, it's going to be Bronson from Butch Reed. God, what a name for the fucking past. Great guy. Anyway, Bronson Reed, right? Bronson Reed is going to be the fifth partner for Bloodline. I don't care at this point because they had an opportunity, WWE had an opportunity to really do something to really get us more invested into this story it's just being like, what the fuck? Like that's where the direction you're going. And I'm not the only one. Um, so many fans are now saying that they're done with the bloodline story after this because it's stale. It's basically been done before with the whole Sami Zayn thing. Who gives a fuck?
See, I don't see Bronson or Seth being the fifth. I really don't.
So
I haven't heard any rumors, but I think The Rock's gonna be the fifth.
he's not. So I talked and I can't mention their name. I have my little barely a connection in back office and WWE, and I was talking to him after Raw last night, actually, because I called him and I said, "Please tell me that they're not going in the direction with Seth Rollins." He's like, and he told me he's like, not only are they going in the direction with Seth Rollins, but Bronson Reed is going to be the guy for the new bloodline.
Well, you spoiler dick, you. Thanks a lot, Tater Nuts. All right.
Well, let me say this though. There's been times that my contact has said something and it has been wrong because WWE decides to go to another direction for whatever reason. So there's enough fans right now that are like me that is crying about this, that this is terrible. So maybe with Triple H, he tends to listen to the fans. They may decide to change it, but if they don't, according to my connection as of right now, that is what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, I lost a lot of interest. I'll still watch it, but I lost a lot of interest. You know. All right. So then we go to New Day comes to the ring. Kofi versus Pete Dunne. Dunne gets the pin over Kofi. Kofi and Xavier argue on the way out.
Loved it. Finally, finally, it's more than just Kofi and um
Xavier.
Xavier Woods. Motherfuck, man. Finally, it's Kofi and Xavier Wood actually making physical contact by pushing one another, right? Finally, this is moving to the next step of the fucking heel turn, which has basically already happened. Woods gets booed constantly. And because of Woods getting booed, in a way, even Kofi is getting booed. Now, this is what I think will be shocking and a great direction is if the heel turn that's going to surprise us isn't going to be Woods. Kofi is actually going to go into the same direction of Woods' thinking, and they both turn heel because I don't remember Kofi ever being it. I don't remember Kofi ever being a heel with WWE. I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. I just don't remember it.
I think there was a slight time where they tried and it didn't pan out. But
It would this time.
I think it was really half-hearted.
I think that if Kofi and Woods turns heel and creative pushes them in the right direction once they turn heel, I think that they could absolutely take over that show and they will absolutely surpass the whole bloodline story.
Uh,
100%.
well, it's going to happen probably in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because they keep telling that. Oh, it's 10 years of the New Day. 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. So that tells
They're
me
going to be doing they're going to be doing a show on their 2-year anniversary on Raw that is dedicated to them. And I guarantee you it's gonna have a whole bunch throughout the show, clips, all the different things that they have done, New Day has done. I am predicting, put it on your calendars, everybody. It's going to be on that show that Woods definitely turns heel. The question is, will Kofi join him? Or will Woods turn heel on Kofi? Which honestly, that's the only big way I see the direction going is Woods turning on Kofi. But they can always, at some point, make Kofi kind of see the light as far as Woods is thinking. And later on, Kofi turns heel during their feud to join them. And now we have a heel New Day.
well, if Bruce Barber Beefcake shows up, someone's going through the glass. Someone's going through the glass.
Oh, I don't think Brutus can show up anywhere because the real quick, guys, since you brought it up, Mark, the accident that Brutus the Beefcake was in. Are you familiar with it?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So that whole thing really, really fucked him up, and um, he has never been the same since. So I don't think he would ever. I can't see there being a time that he shows back up to have one more run like we keep on seeing with a lot of these legends. It'll never happen. He's too fucked up. What?
Goal for another run.
I mean, there's rumors about Hogan doing one more WrestleMania.
God.
It'll
No,
be the geriatric main event.
make it stop. No, actually, you know what? I think Brutus, for what he went through with that parasail, I think he did make a substantial comeback. Not extraordinary, but it's substantial. They never could find the right gimmick for him, whether it was the Zodiac or his biker gimmick or whatever. Um, he looked actually in phenomenal shape. I just saw him on, um, God, what was that show? It wasn't Dark Side of the Ring. Oh, maybe it was. You know,
Yeah,
and
they did a Dark Side of the Ring.
huh?
They did a Dark Side of the
Yeah.
episode. With them.
Know, other than gaining a lot of weight, I think his personality's still there. And
Yeah, it is, but you could tell that there was definitely something not there anymore. He was missing. There was just something not there anymore, and I think it's because of that accident.
could be just age
I mean,
too.
he's lucky he's alive.
Oh God, yeah. So, all right. So, anyways, getting back to the nuts and bolts. Next, we go to Judgment Day. Finn and Dom arguing. Finn asks Dom to step up and face him and Carlito to face War Raiders. Dom says, "All right, take care of it. Let me go get the match set up."
Now, there's rumors that that Dom is going to kick out um uh this happening to me again. My memory's going. You just mentioned his name, arguing with who's arguing?
Finn.
Finn. Yeah, so there's rumors that they're going to kick Finn out, and Ray is not Ray. Dom is going to fully be in control. I'm not sure who they would replace Finn Balor with, but look, this is the thing about Judgment Day. When Damian Priest and Rhea left, I was questioning on if Judgment Day can survive without them. They can, right? But they get rid of Finn. I don't think that Judgment Day is going to be this thing anymore because at that point, they're going to be a bunch of fucking mid-carders or jobbers or enhanced talent. I'm sorry. Because they're just about that now. So if they're going to kick Finn out, they just need to break up Judgment Day at that point and just, Carlito, he's an enhanced talent. Have Dom go with this girl and they be a team together and let Finn do his single run. But yeah, if they kick Finn out, Judgment Day's done with.
Yeah. Well, I think Liv's got. I think she's got a timeline that she's gonna be done here in the next year, 2 years. There's rumors that she's going to stop once she has a baby. I haven't heard anything about her being pregnant, but if you're talking about
Well,
having,
she's not pregnant. She wouldn't be in the ring if she was.
yeah, well, there's talk about having a baby, then there's a
Yeah.
thought about baby. So, all right. So next we go to a vignette with the women's tag team champs talking about Liv and Raquel in their match later on the night. Um, Next we got Bronson Reed to the ring, giving Seth props about the match, and then calls Seth out. Um, a fight breaks out. Pierce grants a match next week with Bronson Reed and Seth. I think this is kind of reaching its limit.
Yeah, this will definitely be the last one. But look, I don't mind this fight breaking out those two because they have that heat between one another. They hate each other, kayfabe, obviously. This is much better than what AEW does. Every fucking time there is a backstage interview, there's always some type of a fucking fight at that point, right? AEW does it poorly because they do it every single time with every single wrestler, right? They'll have 3 or 4 fights backstage a night at AEW. At least for WWE, it is reserved. They're only doing it right now with Steph and Bronson, and that's it. Kudos for WWE for not having every single interview segment turn into this brawl, because at that point, whenever you do that, it takes away from the importance of the storyline from each wrestler, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I didn't mind it. I don't mind that they're having a one last feud before it comes to an end. I think that Bronson Reed needed this. This is the type of push that he really needed because he was, to me, he had one foot in that enhanced off the enhanced line. He really did. Because I mean, he was taking loss after loss, and finally they decided to give him a push. Seth Rollins is a great guy to get him started with that push. I hope at the end of the day, it's going to be Bronson Reed that's going to come up on top. He needs it, and we'll see if he can hold on to that momentum that he has right now.
Okay, so let me go to Sammy backstage asking Seth to be the fifth. Seth says you're out of your mind. Seth says no. Um,
Love
and
this.
pretty much elaborated. He knows Roman better than anybody, and he doesn't trust Roman and wouldn't back him.
And the reason why I like this so much, I know what I said about the whole bloodline thing. The reason why I like this isn't necessarily because of the whole bloodline storyline. I liked it because of the fact that they kind of reminded us that Seth used to be part of that one time badass group called the Shield, right? Because you kind of forget about that because he is so flamboyant now when it comes to the ring that at one time he was part of this fucking faction called the Shield that was beating the fuck out of everybody. So yeah, this is great. I think that if you work, this also works in the fact that with the storylines that is in with Bronson Reed, that it's making us remember Seth was his badass and he still has this in him type of a thing. So
All right, so then next we go to Damian versus Ludwig. Now, what killed me about this match, and I couldn't even tell you who won, to be honest, I've already forgot. Um, Ludwig went for a move called the Kaiser Roll.
yeah,
I mean,
terrible, terrible.
I'm like, wait, I had to rewind that. I'm like, what? And I had to listen to it 3 times before it finally dawned on me they actually called it a Kaiser Roll. I'm like,
It,
oh my God, someone needs to be fired.
you know what killed me about this match? Everything. This match should have been a very short match. Damian Priest should have absolutely dominated. Should have been less than 3 minutes. Should have been a quick pin to show how dominant Damian Priest can be.
You know who Ludwig reminds you of? What
A
was it? Al
woodpecker?
Das Wonder Kid?
Oh,
That's who he reminds me of.
yeah. Look, this isn't taking anything away from Kaiser. But he shouldn't have had a snowball chance in hell. It should have been a very quick, dominant match by Damian Priest. Um, yeah, I mean that's about all I can say about the match.
See, I like Ludwig. I do. I think he's got all the potential in the world. I think he needs to beef up about 15 pounds, which he probably will at some point. Um, I see a split between him and Gunther here in the foreseeable future. But I like Ludwig. I think he's one hell of a heel.
Yeah,
I really.
but look, I agree with you. This isn't anything against Kaiser. It's not. It has everything to do with you just said. He's a small guy. Damian Priest is this fucking the really big guy. Um, this should have been a very quick fucking match when it came between the two. It's kind of like if my son Tanner, who's maybe 110 pounds soaking wet, decided to take me, challenge me, and we went to the backyard together, right? There'd be no way in hell he'd be able to have any type of defense against me. That's how this should have been treated. Kaiser's no Rey Mysterio Jr. So, yeah, it just, I think it was terrible in the sense that they let him have any type of offense.
It didn't benefit Damien,
Right, none whatsoever.
but it did benefit. God, I want to say Kaiser now. It
Ludwig,
did Ludwig.
yeah. Well, see, but and you're right. If Damian Priest had this many problems against Ludwig, then you mean to tell me that he's going to get in a ring and be able to defeat Gunther? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. All right. So next we go to a backstage interview with Braun. Braun basically calls out Sheamus. Um, Sheamus soon appears and he challenges Braun. Challenge is accepted. Jimmy shows up looking to talk to Braun. I found that interesting, but now you've ruined my hopes and dreams.
I tell you what, I am actually, I kind of can't wait until this match with Brian Breaker and God damn it, man.
Sheamus.
Sheamus. Sorry, guys. I'm like on 2 hours sleep. And Sheamus. Because look, these are two big guys that can hit, right? This should be a really, really good match between these two guys. This is going to be two big guys just beat the shit out of each other. This is going to be a good match.
One can hope.
Right.
All right. So then, Miz in the Final Testament.
Fucking A.
They bring the Miz to the ring looking to beat the snot out of him. Call out the Wyatt Six. They show up. Miz hits Rowan with the chair, which really surprised me.
So let me stop you for a second because you skipped over something that's very important. Miz was kind of held hostage by the Wyatt Six. He came back to Raw last night, basically saying, look, guys, fuck you. I am out of this shit. I have my family to worry about. He was forced to go back in the ring. And he kept on saying, just do like I did. You better apologize. Just apologize. Let's not do this, guys. Then, of course, go ahead.
Yeah, the Wyatt Six show up, and they took the brunt of it. I was really surprised.
And look, last night, they just murdered the Wyatt Six.
Yep.
They did. They just ended the Wyatt Six. Because I don't know if, look, I keep up with how the fans of professional wrestling feel about different things. And even before this, they were kind of saying, we're having a hard time taking the Wyatt Six seriously because of Bo Dallas, which I think he's been doing a great job. I'm not sure what the disconnect is, right? But having them getting beat the fuck down the way they did so quickly last night just ended them. This was way too soon to have the Wyatt Six get their ass kicked, right? They should have kept them going with different enhanced talents, dominating mid-carders before this happened to them. And yeah, I get it. Bo Dallas, after he got his ass kicked, or Coyote, whatever you want to call him, they show him pick himself up, leaning against the ropes, and just laughing, right? Which, ooh, that makes him a badass. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You had the whole group get a beat down. By a fashion, by the way, that doesn't win many matches if you go and see their win-loss column, right? They lose more times than win. And you're going to have this type of a beat down. And then Miz, of all people, taking out their biggest guy with a fucking chair.
Right. Now, the other thing that kind of surprised me is, while Howdy was laughing, Karrion Kross is walking up like, oh shit, I just opened a can of worms. You know?
I get that. But I don't know. I just think that they just killed the Wyatt Six the same way that they killed the Fiend, right? And I don't know why WWE does this. The Fiend had an excellent run happening. The fans were invested in him. They loved him. This was Bray Wyatt's creation. Then WWE Creative gets in and they have a match against Seth Rollins, a Hell in a Cell match that they brought out ridiculous weapons. And when that happened, that killed the Fiend. And the fans knew it because they booed the shit out of him. I don't know why they do this type of shit with creative. And they've always done this. When you have someone or a group that is dominant, that is this dark, demonic group, what happens? Creative turns them into a fucking joke. Look at the boogeyman, right? Look, this guy, yeah, I get it. The whole gimmick with him eating worms, was a little corny, but at the same time, you could buy that this son of a bitch was crazy. And if the creative would have pushed him and booked him the correct way, he could have rolled that way for a long time without even winning a title. But instead, they turned him to a fucking joke. This is what WWE creative does, and I don't get it.
Well, what WWE does is if it's not created by them and they get the response they want, it's a natural organic thing that happens, like Austin and LA Knight right now. Where the crowd gets behind them and WWE is not really pushing them, and putting the marketing behind them, they get really put off. And if it wasn't for Austin 316, he probably would have been, the ringmaster again in 6 months.
Well, and you're right. Look, the thing with Austin 3, that just so happened that that fell into Steve Austin's fucking lap. It was something that wasn't planned. Um, some things that happened. Austin had just so happened to ask Michael P.S. Hayes before that interview, what did Jake the Snake say?
Yep.
He said Jake the Snake, did his normal thing about the Bible and Jesus and all that shit, because Jake the Snake was religious at that point, and he was really religious. That was true shit. Austin's like, okay, and it just came out, right?
Right.
And the people hooked on to it. That was a fluke that so happened to be a gold mine that he was able to ride for the rest of his career. That doesn't happen all the time, right?
Right.
That was organic.
But on Monday after that happened, if he would have had 1/5 or 1/2 of the signs, would have
Right.
been as popular. No,
Right.
it's because so popular they had no choice but to back this and say, "Wow, this is a gold mine."
Right, right. So I think what we're saying, everybody, is that these guys need to be able to know how to promote themselves in a way that the fans is going to take to them. Because if they don't, creative is going to absolutely bury them.
Yep.
They have to make themselves, or they have to get themselves to the point that WWE backstage has no choice but to push them, because that is what the fans absolutely want, because of something organically that happened. And if this talent doesn't do that, then like you just said, if they're not this big marketable source, WWE is going to push them down the ladder.
Right. And that's what's happening to LA Knight. LA Knight will drop that belt in 2 months. So,
Yeah, he's definitely lost his momentum, but let's go on, because
yep.
we're getting
All right. So
way
next
off
we
of
got
topic.
Seth leaving. Solo approaches and makes an offer. Seth turns down Solo and calls him a wannabe Roman. I got a good chuckle out of that.
That was the catchphrase of the night. Want to be Roman. I guarantee you want to talk about something organic, right? I guarantee you that Friday night, they're going to be chanting, want to be Roman.
Yep.
Guarantee you this.
Yep. I think you're right. All right. So next we got Liv and Raquel coming out for their match. Jade and Bianca come out. Nia and Tiffany actually come out, interfere. Naomi comes out. Liv gets pinned. Nia drops um, Bianca. Io Sky comes out, and it ends up being four on one against Nia Jax.
Yeah, Io Sky was the star of that last night.
Yeah, you know what? I was
100%.
really surprised to see her come out.
Io Sky did things last night that I've not seen her do in her ring in a very long time. She the things that she was doing, the moves, I'm talking move sets, is what had fans loving her once upon a time. And I hope that they break up or she gets kicked out of her group, and that she is a singles wrestler for a very long time.
I think a lot of these people they wrestle her quite a bit, and I think they modify their skill sets to either cover the injury or to prevent further injury. So I think that's why you see them downplay their abilities quite a bit,
Yeah.
because nobody wants to be off TV because here's money.
Right.
There's nothing more about it. So they'll fight or they'll wrestle injured, they'll wrestle in pain, whatnot. That's been going on for shit as long as wrestling's been around, I think.
Yeah.
But seeing Io Sky come out last night really kind of surprised me. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to not necessarily a face turn, but I'm looking forward to her being what she used to be.
Right.
She was an intimidating factor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So I hope that, again, that they give her a really good push. And this was the main event last night, right?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
main event.
Yeah, and that was raw. But you mentioned about an injury, right? Eddie Kingston is hurt pretty badly. I'm trying to get. I know that. Okay. Let's see if I can find this. And I meant to put this on the news last night. Uh, if I remember correctly, he broke his tibia in a match where he hit the table the wrong way. He had a shoulder injury as well, and a couple of other injuries. So he's going to be out for quite a while. Eddie Kingston is probably one of my favorites on AEW. I think he's really great on the mic. I know he doesn't have that typical wrestling physique, but I think that's what makes me love him even more. And I think the fans love him because of that too. He's very enduring to the people. So I hope that Eddie Kingston can make a full recovery and he's able to make a comeback as soon as he possibly can.
How in the hell did he get injured? I haven't seen him on AEW in months.
He had been wrestling with injuries for months, and then it's when he broke his leg that he had to be taken out, and this was quite a few months ago. So it's been quite a while. I was reading updates. I was actually looking for an update on Kill Switch on AEW. The Luchasaurus. There was nothing new on him. And then whenever I was doing my research, I came upon Eddie Kingston type of thing. But yeah, that is our recap of Monday Night Raw. Mark, do you have anything?
No, not really. I gotta echo your statement about Eddie Kingston. I like him. I think he's leaps and bounds over what he was in TNA because he was just a mouthpiece.
Right.
I don't think I ever saw him wrestle in TNA, but I didn't follow TNA all that closely. But every time I did see it, I didn't see him really wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So, all right, everybody. Well, let's not forget to follow our YouTube channel, and as well as go check out my Baby Dolls interview, and as well as I have Magnum PA as well on my YouTube channel. Don't forget that we will be back on Thursday for the recap of Dynamite, and then we'll be doing a recap of SmackDown on Saturday. Until then, everybody, you guys enjoy your rest of your week. And if there's any wrestling news that comes up in the meantime, we will absolutely be talking about it on our next podcast. So, Mark, what is it?
Ring the damn bell.
Ring the damn bell, everybody.